How's it going, Periscopers? Still trying to figure this out outside here. Hey, won't take too long. Just trying to catch up from yesterday. Wasn't able to do this yesterday. And I want us to think quickly about truth, because when Paul says you have to be strong in the Lord, be strong in the Lord, he says put on the whole armor of God, do everything to stand. We have to stand in order to fight. In order to fight, we have to put on the armor of God. And the first thing he says to put on is having put on the belt, or having gird yourself with the belt of truth. And if we think about a belt only in terms of what we wear around our waist, and only really holding up our pants is kind of the modern way of wearing a belt, if we only think about it in that way, we kind of miss what Paul probably had in mind here, because there was a piece, kind of like a girdle, kind of like a harness today, a piece of the Roman armor that would hold everything else in place, that would keep him firm and together, and it would protect some of his loins, if you will, those delicate parts and digestive system, those kind of things, obviously. But it also held everything together. So it's this idea of a belt, harness upon which everything else can connect. And Paul says that's the first thing you put on. Now think about that. Think about how important it is that Paul would say first, put on the belt of truth. Because without truth, how do you know what, say, righteousness is? Because next he says put on the breastplate of righteousness. How do you know what righteous living is if we don't have truth or boundaries in place to know how we live? How do you know what the gospel is, the good news? What's good news different from bad news if we don't have truth first? And so Paul says, put on the belt of truth. Jesus was described as truth throughout the book of John, from the beginning there in chapter 1 all the way through the end. And he emphasized truth when he was leaving his apostles. The Holy Spirit would come to guide them into all truth. So that truth has been revealed to us today. He prayed to God, sanctify them by truth. Your word is truth. And so in order to have everything together in our lives, in order to be strong in this spiritual battle, we first have to have the truth in place. It's what holds everything else together. Think about this, a couple of passages that kind of view this from the negative point of view. Galatians 2, 11 through 14, Paul has to get on to Peter and the rest and that went with Peter. And Paul says, your actions were out of step with the truth of the gospel. How did Paul know that Peter was mistreating the Gentiles? How did Paul know that? Because there was a revealed truth. And so Peter was not living in step with the gospel. 2 Thessalonians 2 talks about those who would teach false things, and God sends them a delusion. And Paul there says that when they disbelieve the truth in order to practice and to live unrighteousness. So we can't live in a way that pleases God. We can't live in a way that functions really helpfully in society if there's no set of boundaries and truth. So truth holds everything else together. So as we think about standing firm, as we think about being strong, as we think about fighting in this spiritual battle, we have to have the belt of truth. It holds everything else together. Thanks so much, Periscope. Saw several of you join that I know and love. Appreciate that. Jerry and Dale and Ryan, so many others, 2 Ryans that I love and appreciate. So thank you for joining in. Feel free to tap the screen there to do some hearts. Feel free to share it. Feel free to comment. I look forward to trying to do this as often as I can every day. And appreciate you. Hope you have a great day. And may the Lord bless you as you fight for Him. That's a true point, Wes. Obviously, there are vulnerable parts there, and that's worth maybe making connection to. We read plenty of times in the New Testament, gird up your loins. It's attached to strength. It's attached to vulnerability. So I don't think that's coincidental. Probably appreciate that, Wes. Appreciate you. All right, have a great day, guys. Take care.